And we are live. XCFL live broadcast. We are bringing you the Titans and the Lions. And tonight I have with me today Justin Holland and Coach Boone. How are you folks doing today? Great. Couldn't be better. And yeah, we have a great matchup today. Again, we're talking about the Titans and the Lions. The Titans are 2-2, and the Lions are 3-1. Both of these teams are familiar with the playoffs, and this is why we picked this game to broadcast tonight. This is going to be an outstanding game, and I'm going to leave it to you guys to go ahead and talk about what's going on.
Hello. All right. Well, we have a big game coming up tonight. There's no doubt about it. The Titans are on a roll. I just previously had a game against them, and they were about as difficult as it gets, about as stingy as it gets. Mariota is coming off a very hot year, so you know he's coming out firing. That's just his MO, And not to mention that you have the Lions, who Josh Jones. I mean, I found out firsthand he's the real deal. He's just the real deal.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm excited to see is, obviously looking at the stats here, the team stats. I mean, both teams are in the top 15 in both offensive categories, and obviously, outside of Nick falling just outside of the top 15 in scoring defense. I mean, really, he's only a few points away from being in that. Both teams have actually had a successful season so far. I know we're only 4 games in, but this should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk about a couple guys here that the matchups. And who I want to talk about right now is Josh Jones and Jamal Adams. Both of these players are at strong safety, and they have very similar numbers. Obviously, the Titans just got Jamal Adams from the Jets. Josh Jones has been around the Lions since season 1. Guys, tell me what you think about these two going into this game.
Go ahead, Boone.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Josh Jones has made an impact from the very second he stepped foot on a field. He's been an absolute impact player, and essentially he shuts down an entire side of the field. I tried personally throwing at him. He was a step ahead of the game as far as knowing. It seemed like my plays or my audibles, he was right all over it. So he pays attention to his film work. That's been the rap on him all his career so far, and that's why he's so good. As far as Jamal Adams is concerned, that he's such a massive safety in just size and stature, and then his intelligence as far as knowing how to read the sets you're in and your tendencies makes him a threat no matter which way you go, and he can hit like no other.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that obviously, I don't need to add a whole lot to that because Boone really touched on everything that I wanted to say. But the big thing is I've actually been shocked that Josh Jones only has 3 interceptions. It seems to be he kind of is on a 1 interception per game pace. So he's actually behind his normal pace. So let's see if maybe he can get 2 today and square it off. And then obviously Jamal Adams, also young and talented. Really interested to see this battle. Both defenses are young, fast. Obviously the Titans have those shutdown corners as well. So this is going to be a really, really key matchup to watch.
Yeah, and it's almost do or die for the Titans at 2-2. You don't want to fall at 2-3 with that tough division. The Lions kind of have a little bit of wiggle room, but yeah, I see these two making an impact today. We're going to see. I think that at least one of them is going to get an interception, if not both of them. They're both high impact players, and it just so happens they play at the same position. I'm very excited to see how this transfolds. But I think that they're about to head to the field here in a couple minutes. So last thoughts, give me your prediction, guys. Boone, what's the final score going to be?
Final score, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to the Lions, and I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to win probably 24-21. and you're gonna look for. I'm gonna call it right now. Dixon Bishop has 2 touchdowns.
Nice. Justin, what about you?
I'm going to say Titans, and we're going to go 35-28.
All right, guys. We are going to head to the field. I'm going to let you guys take over. Good luck.
All right, so we are getting ready for kickoff here on the game of the week here in the XCFL. As we just mentioned, Titans, Lions, both, or I should say neither, are strangers to the playoffs. So this is going to be a good game. Boone, I'm excited to see this kick.
Absolutely. You're looking at a team that's what I thought wasn't too explosive when I played them. They were smash mouth. This whole offense, defense, everything about the Lions is smash mouth, and it really represents the old school feel of that NFC North and what their history represents.
Now, as we see the kickoff here, I want to ask you, you just played the Lions, and you've also played, you're used to the Titans playing them twice a year. How did the teams compare?
I'm going to go ahead and say that the Titans behind Yost is just an all-around team. They can do everything. He's known for running, and then he picked up a passing game this year. I don't know where it came from, but he seemed to have one. And it's really an important threat because he can do everything as far as defense-wise, offense. He can control the game. He can throw it with you. So it's really a problem. The Lions is just smash mouth, like I said, just smash mouth offense. Look at this. He's breaking tackles on his way to a first down. Like I said, this is probably one of the toughest teams I've played as far as just rugged power.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, we just saw them come out on the 31-yard line. Power run to the right. Moats gets 11, taking them down to the 42-yard line. So that's going to be 1st and 10 on a big first down carry. First play of the game carry, for that matter.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford doesn't have to do a whole lot. Moats is able to carry some of the load. So it's not like what he's used to when he started his career where he never had a running back. He's got somebody back there who can probably get you 80 to 100 yards.
Absolutely. So Stafford's obviously lined up single back, Moats in the backfield. He's going to hand it again to Moats, goes up the middle, had a hole, but didn't quite, wasn't able to break it like he was on the last one.
Yeah, Moats, while he's not a big back, he's definitely, like I said, a solid back who'll get you your 80 to 100. You don't need 150 from him because you have a receiver like Dixon Bishop and Matthew Stafford who could just go ahead and throw the ball downfield when need be.
Absolutely.
Nice offense.
Yeah, that is a nice balanced offense. So now Stafford in a power eye. Moats again in the backfield. He's going to hand to Moats. Oh, no, he actually play actions. Going deep down the right side of the field. Broken up. So that's interesting because obviously, you saw 2 power runs, sets up the play action pass, and goes deep and challenges that corner on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put that, to him. Bishop's just a chance, you take it. You take the chance with him. He's 6'5". The dude is 6'5".
Well, how many times in the past have we seen, users use, say, somebody like Julio Jones or Odell Beckham and go up and just throw it out there and see what happens?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do it with Hopkins. It's amazing. It's definitely fun.
Yeah, and it looks like Jamal Adams actually almost had an interception there. Throws it over the middle, post route, didn't quite get it in there, tried to thread the coverage, and honestly, just a poor read, bad throw. Nothing real good happening on that one. So the Lions are going to be forced to punt here on 4th and 9.
And with the punt, we're going to go high in the air, Nice fair catch. The Titans have a potent offense that can go both ways. So how do you see this going for them?
Honestly, again, you had mentioned it, that the Titans were typically your smash mouth running team in the past, running and playing defense. Obviously, defense is Coach Yo's specialty, but they have been able to air it out a little bit. So I'll be interested to see if he uses Mariota in the passing game or if he kind of sticks to the ground game.
Yeah, Mariota has a man in motion. Phillips, the big play man. He has all day to throw. Had a receiver open over the middle. He's going to scramble out to the right, take his time, and throw it away.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm a little bit behind you. I'm going to try to refresh my stream real quick. So I'll let you go ahead and take it for a second.
And I'll jump in here. If you look at these two offenses, that both offenses can move the ball and they can strike quickly. And if you notice Mariota, he is actually out of the shotgun right now, gives it to Henry. Henry only goes for 3 yards.
Henry's a power back, man. He's a big time playmaker, and you can't forget about him. I mean, 6'4", 240.
One thing I noticed about Yost is he does trust that offensive line where he can keep those 4 receivers out there and go with the inside zone, even when they come out in a nickel or a 3-4. He drops back in a shotgun. Mariota back. Intercepted. And look at this. The Lions intercepted already. Now, this was not Jones, but it was Spencer Frazier, the first-round pick. What do you think about that? That was a magnificent play by the Lions, but horrible read by Yost.
It shows Nick Larson's ability to draft. I mean, the dude made a great pick in Cone. I mean, he's got Frazier. He's sitting on Josh Jones. You don't go wrong. So that's 3 studs, pillars of defense for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does know he's always had a good defensive coordinator, and they just dialed up the correct play there. He kind of knew that Yost may go to the middle here. It looks like he's going to play action. Matthew Stafford, the tight end wide open, gets a huge gain down to the 21-yard line. That was a 21-yard play by Stafford.
He picks up a big block on the right side from wide receiver. If you notice, that's a part of that smash mouth play style that I let you know about. They are so physical all the way around. The receivers enjoy blocking. That's hard to find in NFL talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And they come out in an I formation here. He does give it to the running back to stretch. Nowhere to go, though. He does not pick up anything on that one. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Actually, loses a yard on that play.
All right, guys. So I apologize. I am back now.
All right.
All right. So 2nd and 11, just outside of the red zone for the Tennessee Titans. For the Detroit Lions. Pardon me, Coach Nick. Stafford in the shotgun. Moats on his left-hand side. Got some switching up at the line of scrimmage here. Stafford drops back. Man open over the middle. That's where he was looking, but it looked like his man, Dixon Bishop, and your man there, Coach Boone, didn't quite get his head around in time. He didn't even know the ball was coming his way.
Yeah, those are rookie mistakes you can definitely expect at some point in time, but he's still a top-tier player. There's no way around it. The guy is he's going to make some mistakes, but I promise you he'll make up for that at some point during this game.
Yeah, I think his talent's obviously, you can't question his talent. The thing is as with any young player, we all kind of wonder, does that awareness trait actually mean anything? And I think that's something right there that, it kind of proves that on a veteran receiver, he might turn his head and actually make that play. Whereas Bishop, that was going for 6 if he gets his head around. So Stafford in an empty backfield shotgun. And again, Yost is making some adjustments. Stafford back to pass. Man open. Perfect throw. Throws a beautiful ball down to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, before the play call, you have nothing but control over that offense. It's such a calm presence that Mariota exudes, and it's been that way.
And actually, it looks like the ball was actually separated from the receiver. It was a perfect throw, but the receiver just wasn't able to hold on to it. So the Lions are going to have to settle for a field goal. Again, missed opportunity there. Let's see if it comes back and bites them. What do you think of that drive?
I think that the Lions shown at least some physical play. They're not going to be pushed over this game.
So now the Lions will kick to the Titans. Titans with a good return almost makes a man miss. If he catches that edge, he's, if not gone, pretty darn close to it. As it is, Hazel takes it out to the 24-yard line. That's where the Titans will take over.
Yeah, Mariota's going to come out, and I expect for some clock control. Establishing that run game is going to happen here. That's what I look for out of Coach Yost.
Yeah. Now, do you trust Mariota to air it out again after that quick interception?
I let him do it. I'm not gonna lie, let him do it because that's the best thing you have to do for the top tier quarterbacks. Just let them go out there and show no fear.
And there's Derrick Henry on first down. So another, just as you said, smash mouth power football. First down handoff, gets about 12 yards on the carry, moves the chains, keeps the clock moving. That's the kind of football that Tennessee wants to play.
Right, and that's what made Yost's name in this league. And now that he got his Titans, I can't see a better team set up for his play style.
Yep, Mariota comes out offset eye, hits a crossing route to Veros and a beautifully thrown ball. That's actually, so you had mentioned it earlier that he's come out and been able to throw the ball. That's a perfectly placed ball. Looks like he led the receiver, another 17-yard gain there. So they're in business, 47-yard line, and they're on the right side of the 50.
I definitely see the maturation in this Titans offense as time has gone by. And it's an issue for me being a Texans owner. It's definitely an issue for me. I don't like it one bit. I need a nice ACL tear for Mariota.
Offset eye again. Actually, I apologize. It's a pistol formation with an offset eye. Mariota makes some changes at the line, drops back to pass. He has a man open over the middle, but he chooses to go deep. Aggressive catch, touchdown, Tennessee. And right there, we talked about it earlier. Would it come back to bite Coach Larson on the missed opportunities? Now you're down 7-3, or at least 6-3, about to be 7-3. What do you think so far of that drive?
I think I called that drive perfectly, if you want to be honest. I told you establish the run, and then you don't be afraid to let him air it out. He's a star. You let him be a star.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal – really, it's a phenomenal play call because he's got the man out there, the corner on an island, throws it up, one-on-one coverage, let your guy go up and make a play. I like it too.
Yeah, so Mariota is a top-tier player, man. You just got to let big-time players make big-time plays.
He is, and honestly, that's probably an even better play by the receiver. That's not an easy catch to go up and make over the top of a good corner. So the Lions are going to take over at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
The Lions want to continue to run their offense. Don't let this small touchdown, this quick play, get you frazzled. You have to show your composure in this situation, and definitely just keep running your offense. It'll work.
2 tight end set, handoff to Moats. He's going to go left-hand side for another first down. 4 rushes, 22 yards for Moats. It's over 5 yards a carry. That's a solid first quarter so far.
Yep. Moats has been, solid player. Just all-around solid player. Take your holes. Don't do nothing extra.
So as the clock ticks down towards 2 minutes left in the first, 7-3 Tennessee lead. 1st and 10, offset eye for Stafford. Couple fake snaps here. It looks like he's trying to get the aggressive coverage off, or the aggressive pass rush off. He's going to hit Ebron on the right-hand side. Looks like a corner route. Perfectly thrown ball there by Stafford. That's that veteran presence.
He's been doing it for a long time. I expect nothing less.
So now this is a quick drive here. Down to the 33-yard line. Wildcat formation for Moats. And it's going to be a fake sweep. Nothing doing on that. Blown up at the line of scrimmage. Really, the Lions got no push from the offensive line there.
Yeah, it's definitely a little disheartening. But, like I said, you just got to stick with the game plan. You're moving the ball well. Don't go away from it. Do what you do and keep your identity.
Does it surprise you at all that they tried to go Wildcat there when they were moving the ball so effectively?
Not in the least bit. Not in the least bit. You throw it in there on first down just because you have 2 more downs to make up for it.
So Stafford comes out in the shotgun, and as you see the play unfold in front of us, a perfectly thrown ball again over the middle. Stafford's not having a great game. He's had some drops, though, so it looks like, really, maybe this is more of an indictment on the receivers than it is on Matt Stafford himself.
Yeah, they definitely seem a little out of it, Like, they look a little lethargic out there. Not really running the crispest routes for him.
Yeah, well, and again, we've talked about it, but this is a young receiving corps. It's really a young team in general, and sometimes that's what happens when you have a young squad like that. Their route running isn't quite built up to where these older guys are. Stafford comes out, man in motion, going left to right across your screen. Pump fake, pressure up the middle, and it's a sack by Hunt. Huge hit there. Stafford took a big blow. Holds onto the ball. Excuse me. What do you think about that pressure up the gut?
Yeah, I think the XCFL doesn't really have many concussion protocol rules because he should have been out the game. He absolutely should have been out the game. His head slammed on the ground.
Yeah, Coach Nick is going to definitely be under investigation for that one.
Just a little bit, nothing too much.
So the first quarter winds to a close. It's a 7-3 lead, and it is, if you think about it, this is exactly what we thought it would be. You have interceptions. You have a hard-fought powerhouse game on both ends, two really good users. What's your first impressions after seeing both of these teams feel each other out?
I think that the Titans know what they want to do, and they're just going out there and doing it. And I think the Lions have an idea of what they want to do, but it's not forming together on the field like they had in their head.
Yeah, and as you see there, Stafford drops back to pass again, or I should say dropped back to pass again, and just got lit up again. That's a huge play now because it almost takes you out of, this isn't a third and manageable anymore. You're at 3rd and 24. What do you think happens here? Do you play it safe, maybe even run a draw, kick another field goal, and pull within a point?
Actually, I think that this is a decent situation. Not necessarily to get a touchdown, but because the distance is so long, you can run deep routes and have an underneath route. And at the very least, you're going to get the dump off to get you some more yards for a field goal. So you should walk out of this with at least the field goal.
Absolutely. So Stafford back to pass. Ebron and Moats were both in the backfield with him. And there's your boy, Dixon Bishop, almost converting on a 3rd and 24. Runs a beautiful post route. Gets down to about the 15, 16-yard line.
Got to hit the weight room, young buck. You got to fall forward on that one. Run over somebody because you're 6'5", 220, 230. You got to run over someone.
Yeah, either run him over or try to make a man miss. But he did. I mean, he had 3 guys there all over him. So it's a 7-6 game as the Lions pull to within a point. What a great game we have so far.
It's definitely lived up to everything we needed it to be. So I got to thank both coaches for making sure that happens.
Yeah, that's a really short kick, too, there. Interesting. I don't know if that was just the wind. I didn't really pay attention to what the meter showed, but really short kick, and that's going to give the Titans wonderful field position out to almost the 40-yard line, sitting here at the 37.
Yeah, Yost is the type you really don't need to give him any favors. That's not what you can afford.
Absolutely. So 1st and 10 for the Titans. He's going to hit his man in the flat. Oh, my God. Drops the probably easiest pass he will ever catch in his life. Mariota hit him in the wrong spot, which was the hands, and he drops it. Had tons of green in front of him, too.
Seen better hands on a snake. That's terrible. That's embarrassing. I don't understand how are you in the league and you really can't catch that hitting your hands?
I just know that I'm stealing that line that you just used.
Look, I'm telling you, man. It's a shame. Doggone shame.
Mariota hands it to Henry on an inside zone run. Gets about maybe 4. Looks like they're going to give him 3. 3rd and 7 now. So here's the difference that I've seen so far is the Tennessee Titans, even though this isn't a 3rd and short by any means, but this is a manageable 3rd down. And the Tennessee Titans pressure up the middle has forced Matt Stafford into these 3rd and extremely long situations where he's just unable to really convert.
Yeah, it makes sense. So the answer would be tosses, out routes, quick plays, slants.
And that's going to be Malcolm Mitchell over the middle. And right before the game, I actually saw Coach Yost upgrading old Malcolm Mitchell. So what a beautifully thrown ball again by Mariota. Neither quarterback is really lighting it up in terms of their completion percentage, but Mariota has made the throws when it matters. He's going to have the 2 backs in the backfield. Hand to Henry. Nope. Going to be actually play action. And there's the pressure finally from the the Lions defensive line. We do have an injury on the field, but I'm not sure who it was. Did you happen to catch that?
Nope, I did not see it. But little known fact, Yost has a lot of chemistry built up with Malcolm Mitchell. Throughout all of Madden 17, he was his top receiver.
Interesting fact. So I didn't catch who it was. It may have been an off-the-ball injury. We'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, it's going to be 2nd and 10, 5.5 minutes to go. Handoff to Henry going left. Got a little tackle battle there, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, he got 2 yards, actually. So 3rd and 8. That just goes to show you, though, even though it's only 2 yards, I mean, how much of a beast this Derrick Henry is.
To convert that and fall forward, those are the things you look for when you get a big player like that. That's what he's there for.
Absolutely. Henry lined up to the left in a shotgun with Mariota, drops back to pass. He's got a man, he's got his crossing route. He actually missed his crossing route and chooses to go deep instead. Dangerous throw into coverage, almost intercepted. I don't personally like that selection. The play call was there, but what do you think about him just overlooking the crossing route?
Well, sometimes you get aggressive. There's nothing wrong with that. He looks like he lost his tackle, Taylor Lewan. That's a big time loss.
That's a huge loss.
Thank you, Coach Larson. Appreciate you.
The entire AFC South is actually DMing Coach Larson right now, telling him we appreciate that.
Breaking news, I just got a text from Jadeveon Clowney. He sent me all smiling emojis.
So we're just waiting on the resume here, and it looks like we're back on the field. Long field goal attempts should he choose to go with this, but I've seen it, and I've had it happen to me myself against him. He's got the wind at his back, 10-mile-per-hour wind, going just a little bit left to right. Kick is up. It's true. Sneaks in the left side. That's going to extend it to a 10-6 Tennessee Titans lead. And I think it's important that Coach Larson comes down and gets 6 on the board. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Right here, you got a good chance to take a lead here and kind of make this your game.
Absolutely. And the difference so far really has been that one touchdown, taking a chance, letting Mariota air it out. And that's both teams have scored on 2 of their possessions, but obviously, getting 7s is going to add up more quickly than getting 3s.
Yeah. The Titans have had a solid defensive performance, keeping this offense out of the end zone.
So we got single back formation, pitch to Moats to the left side, runs into his blocker. If he didn't run into his blocker, that's definitely a first down. As it stands, he's going to get 9 on the pickup there. Going to have a 2nd and 1, maybe even 2nd and a half a yard at the 34-yard line.
Maybe someone should learn how to read a blocker. That might help him.
Maybe your co-host doesn't know how to do it either.
I'm telling you, he might not. Trust me, though, if you look at my running back, he clearly has no clue sometimes. I have to get it in Deontay Foreman's face a couple times during the game.
Clock ticks down towards 4 minutes in the half here. Going to be a handoff up the gut and blown up. Billups tries to go up the middle and actually loses a yard. Again, there's that Tennessee Titans front 7 getting the pressure up the middle.
Yeah, those 2 D tackles in the middle, and really Casey's not even a D tackle. He's both. If you want, he's like a smaller. I can't even call him a poor man's Aaron Donald, but he's like an Aaron Donald. He can do everything.
Stafford in the shotgun, drops back to pass. Got a man crossing the field. Perfectly thrown ball. That's Dixon Bishop again. The young rook getting it done.
And he's going to start showing up as the game goes on. When he finds his niche and gets in his groove. Unfortunately, being so young, it takes him a while to get in that groove and find his zone.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing, obviously, is he needs to get that XP built up. That's a great, confidence-building throws are going to be huge because that's going to help the young rookie, gain that confidence, maybe gain an extra point or 2 on some important stats. Handoff to Moats up the gut. He's going to go just to the left of his right guard there, and he's going to get another 9 yards. So he's getting chunk plays on the ground. That was actually close to a first down. I'm surprised they didn't give him that spot.
Yeah, I am too, actually. It looked like he kind of fell over the line, but, I guess he doesn't have the bag to pay the refs.
Absolutely. You got about second and about 6 inches here. Stafford is definitely trying to fake snap. And wow, as you see, Moats just get blown up in the backfield. Again, that penetration from the line. It seems like it's almost all or nothing for this Detroit Lions offensive line. I've seen 9-yard gains and 3-yard losses.
They're pretty inconsistent right now. But I mean, 3rd and 4 is manageable. You get this first down, you're close to midfield. Anything can happen at that point, or at least you're playing a field position game.
So as the clock ticks down, we're actually going to get to the 2-minute warning. So we're going to take a quick break here. What are you seeing so far from these two teams, and what do you expect to see, as we tick towards halftime?
Again, I'm seeing a lot of confidence, a lot of drive, and a lot of passion out of the Titans. And I'm seeing a lot of ideas out of the Lions that just doesn't seem to really formulate well on the field.
And once again, Stafford gets rocked. That's going to be a huge, huge hit by the Tennessee Titans there. I didn't catch the name, but number 99 on their line.
That's Jurrell Casey.
There you go. Yep. There's your boy. Funny because Aaron Donald is also number 99. Maybe everybody needs to change numbers.
Look, Jadeveon Clowney. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Be ready.
So the Lions are going to have to punt it away. They're going to let this clock tick all the way down. Are you at all surprised that the Titans didn't take a timeout there?
Nope. Because you know what? They want to hold their timeouts. And, I mean, 120 is not a lot to ask for when you have 3 timeouts. That's easy.
So Nick is going to get the punt away. It's a good punt. It's going to take him down all the way inside the 20-yard line. It was a good punt, but it was even better coverage.
Yeah, he outran whoever was supposed to block him, and he made a play. That was just him. That was him all alone making a great play. So you got to thank that guy.
Yeah, and not only that, but how many times do we see it? I mean, we don't talk a lot about special teams in this league, obviously, because we all like to get the pressure at the line of scrimmage or, throw a deep ball. But often those are the plays that really make or break your game.
Yeah, many people don't know this about my game, but I can tell you right now, I don't even return kickoffs. That's a waste of time to me. You risk a whole lot just to make it out to the 25-yard line when all I have to do is kneel and I get there.
There you go. So the Titans are in hurry-up mode now. Clock ticks under a minute. 2nd and 2 at their own 26-yard line. They had a good screen pass for a successful pickup there. Nice out route or corner route and a huge spin move by Phillips. He might take this to the house. And if not for a back juke there, he actually would have taken that to the house. So,
yeah, that definitely was a big play. The young kid making big plays. Titans have these little guys running receivers, so they're very hard to tackle.
Interesting. Now the Titans are going to use a timeout here, as they do. So they keep it on the ground. 25 seconds left. I actually really like the clock management. So. You were right after I asked you that question. Now they're down to 25 seconds, but they're inside the red zone. Second
with 2
and short.
Timeouts.
Yeah, with 2 timeouts. So I like it. You now have the option to keep the ball on the ground another 2 times or go over the middle instead of trying to hit an out route. I like it. Mariota in the gun. Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. Mariota's survey in the field, goes through his progressions, hits another, and there's Veros again. So he's had, I think that's his 3rd big pickup. Now I'm surprised that they're not calling a timeout here.
Nope.
A lot of times.
Go for it here. Go for it. They're off balance. They don't have a lot of pressure up front. Go for it.
Yeah, but now you got stuffed, and you have 1 timeout and 6 seconds to use it.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You take a chance. That's all this is about, is taking chances. The whole game is based on taking chances. And I'm be honest, I don't know Coach Yost that well, but I know me. We're getting a touchdown or it's nothing. If we can't get 3 yards and 3 downs with a timeout in 6 seconds, I don't deserve the touchdown. I don't deserve the points. I'm not here for a field goal.
Mariota in the backfield. I'm sorry, Henry in the backfield with Mariota in the gun. Little fake, and yep, there is your timeout. He's lucky that he was able to get that off. 2 seconds left on the clock. Huge sack there. That is an enormous play by the Detroit Lions.
You know what the problem is there? Mariota hesitated. Wasted time with a pump fake. You don't have time for that. Drop back, make the throw. It doesn't go, you get another down.
Yeah, and I think on that, most of us probably look at the slants or maybe even just a quick flats route, and if it's not there, throw it away. As you said, I think he may have had one more opportunity there, but as it stands, we have a 13-6 game.
So we are going into the halftime here. I didn't mean to cut you off, Justin. Wanted to just kind of announce that we were going to have a little halftime show. And I guess my first question is, Boone, I'll start with you. Is this kind of how you thought the game would go? I mean, especially in the rain?
Not exactly. I definitely didn't see it going this way. The Titans have been controlling the clock, but I definitely thought the Lions would be a little bit more physical and a little bit more dominant. But they've just been getting pushed over, what it seems like.
Yeah. What about you, Justin?
I agree. I think to be honest, I think the line of scrimmage has been won by the Titans. But obviously, the Lions have made two really big defensive plays. One, obviously, we just saw in that sack that almost ran out the clock on the Titans, and obviously, Yost was able to get the timeout called. But that's a huge play, holding to 3 instead of 6. And then obviously the big interception over the middle, which was able to give them good field position for one of their field goals.
Yeah, obviously when there's a rain game, you just can't ever predict how each team is going to show up. I'm actually quite pleased to see both teams playing the way they are. It's been quite close thus far. I personally thought there would be a little bit more points on the board, but as you guys have already alluded to, I mean, these guys are veterans. I mean, this is more of a chess match right now. What is the other guy going to do? And they don't play each other regularly, so I think this is actually their first matchup this Madden cycle. So yeah, absolutely, I think it's very interesting. So. With that in mind, last thoughts, anybody? Justin, I'll start with you. Your last thoughts about the half that we just saw.
Well, I think that obviously the Lions have to get an identity. Just as Boone kind of alluded to, it's very rare that I tell Coach Boone that he's right on something, but hey, he's spot on right now. They're going to need to get an identity and figure out what they want to do to this to solve this tricky defense that they're going up against. Obviously, they're a top 3 defense. Like it's not going to be easy, but you got to get something going. So, and on the opposite side of the ball, I think the Titans have done really well playing their game. But it's still a close game. This is anybody's game right now.
Yeah, and Boone, what do you what do the Lions have to do to get back into this game and actually move the ball and score some points on this tough Titans defense?
To move the ball, you really have to take advantage of your short passes, not just slants and drags. It's got to be, hitch routes are important. You get what looks to be like a slant hitch where you stop over the middle. Some comeback routes, some out routes, some deep out routes. You have to do a lot of creativity and basically just getting the linebackers mixed up because he's gonna shut down a lot of deep balls. There's not a lot of options there, so you just have to absolutely just be creative on offense and make it quick because his defensive line is really not going to wait.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. A question from the chat. The Saints Stanley wants to know who's keeping stats in the first half.
I don't have that. It does. Let me know.
So it doesn't. Anybody's keep me go backwards, but yeah, exciting. Us feel that it's kind of gone on what they're doing. I do have to apologize as we go back to the game. We did miss a kick return by the Titans, so they're actually up. They're going to go up 20-6. I do apologize. We did miss that as the half started, but we will go back to the action. And Boone and Justin has your second half call.
Yeah, and actually, as you see on the screen, there's an injury for on the kick there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, it's not somebody that's a starter that's also on the kick block team or the Titans offensive line there. So Titans are going to take a 20-6 lead. That's a huge kick return, Boone.
Yeah, when you come out with that from your special teams, it doesn't take much time, and it just double dipped them for what looks to be a 10-point swing. So whereas the Lions had the ball down 4, now they're down 14.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, it's still a two possession game for the Lions. Obviously, the Titans though are in control right now. Now we got to see Stafford make a veteran play. Really, he's going to come out in the single back, give it to Moats up the middle, and again, so the Lions kind of went away from that, but there's another good pickup. And as you see, Barnett is actually there. The left tackle is hurt. Interesting to see what Coach Larson's going to do. He looks like he's going to keep him in the game. So we're going to see, again, there you go, pulling out all the stops to try to beat this team.
Dude, Jadeveon Clowney is blowing my phone up right now. He is ecstatic. He can't wait to play the Titans again. This is amazing. He's losing left tackle after left tackle.
So now here we go again with Stafford 2nd and 5. I formation, Moats the deep back, and the hand is to Moats, and a beautiful run. Really that was a nice patient run, followed his blockers, picks up another first down, 1st and 10 at their own 40.
Man, Moats has been about as solid of a performer as you could ask for in this game. He's done his job. It's everyone else around him.
He's got 10 carries now for 50, averaging 5 a carry. I mean, those are professional numbers right there.
He, like I said, he's done his job. Someone else give him a hand. I mean, the man is responsible for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. But here he looks like he might get his season total in one game, possibly.
Absolutely, and you see a huge face mask penalty there on Daquan Jones. That's going to be, and you saw Moats fall forward. Not only does he fall forward, but he gets him all the way down to the 44-yard line of the Tennessee Titans. And now the Lions are in business. So we've seen the Lions be able to move the ball on this Titans defense, but it's the scoring opportunities that they've not been able to capitalize on.
Are you watching some of this? Look at the masterful work. I see a lot of substitutions, a lot of formation changes. The defense is really trying to switch it up. I think they might be in a little bit of a panic as far as the game is concerned.
Yeah, they have to be a little bit, obviously, because the Lions right now are moving the ball right down the field. Good screen pass there from Matt Stafford. There's another injury on the field. So as we often see, injuries are piling up in this game. But the Lions, again, are in business. Just outside of the red zone, 27-yard line. Wonderful. He brought a lot of pressure there, and it was a perfectly called play to counter it.
Yeah, like I said, I see a lot of frantic adjustments being made down there on the Titans sideline.
And
nearly a big play made.
Yeah, that's Ebron going up and just barely. I didn't catch the safety there.
Oh, Jamal Adams.
It was Jamal Adams there. What a beautiful play by Adams there to go up and break that up. I'm really impressed by that effort by the safety.
Yeah, the biggest difference between Jamal Adams and Josh Jones has got to be the stature. Jamal Adams has a very imposing stature just standing there. Have you ever stood next to the guy? He's huge. I think he's like 6'2". He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
So Stafford's going to be in the backfield. Moats rolls out to the right-hand side. And another drop, and that's Dixon Bishop. So a big second down drop. He must have heard the footsteps there and just was unable to bring it in.
I mean, you've got to expect that, though. He's a young guy, and I know it's supposed to come along, and he's a rookie, but I honestly don't know how many passes we're supposed to give him.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw this, but Casey's actually hurt, and it looks like he's unable to return to the game. So the Titans their injuries are really piling up here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some creative management by Yost here to try and pull this one out.
Absolutely. So Stafford in the shotgun We've seen him in the gun a lot. Pump fakes left, goes deep, going to need an aggressive catch, and it's just not there. Just overthrows his receiver by about 3 or 4 yards. Not a great throw there, and really, I don't know, looked like maybe he locked onto that route and just put it up.
I think that Stafford's been in the league for a while. His comfort level's not exactly there.
Oh, big missed field goal. So we again missed opportunities for the Lions, and obviously the first two were really all 3 scoring opportunities have turned into field goals, and this one was a missed field goal. So the score remains 20-6. Now you turn the ball back over to Marcus Mariota with good field position.
And Mariota, his composure is top level. He had a lot of experience last year in Madden 17. He develops himself into a great player.
And as you saw on the first down carry, it was a 4-yard carry by Muhammad. Goes left side, picks up 4, get going, and obviously, it's important to get that first down yardage. Mariota comes out. He's got Henry as a deep back in an I formation. Makes an adjustment at the line. So now we're looking at an offset I. Mariota hands the ball to Henry right up the gut. Nice play adjustment there. Derrick Henry quietly with a good game as well. We haven't seen a lot of big home run carries, but he's quietly had a good game.
Yeah, he's staying true to himself. He's been that kind of player for them, what seems to be all year. He only has 169 yards in the 3-4 games we played. So he hasn't been that big bell cow back for him this year, but he's still solid.
Absolutely. And as you saw on a short carry there by the fullback, they actually handed it to Fowler, the fullback. He picks up the necessary yardage to move the chains, reset the downs. 1st and 10 Tennessee at the 44-yard line.
One of my favorite plays right there, the fullback dive, run it 2-3 times a game.
Mariota comes out offset I. And now we have actually Slayton in the backfield. Haven't heard that name in a while. The hand's going to be
big blocks. He stumbles going forward. Wow.
Absolutely. Run. Yeah, big run there by Phillips. And that's a great play call. You just hit him with a power run, fullback run right up the middle. And then you kind of go thunder and lightning on him and hand the ball to the receiver on the end around.
I actually agree with one of our viewers, Mr. Jean Baptiste. I think the Lions need a turnover here. Your defense has to step up for a big way, and I think a turnover here. I'm not asking for a score, but a turnover here would go a long way for him.
I agree. So we're gonna have Phillips in motion, comes towards the line of scrimmage. Mariota on play action, and a weird, awkward spin move there by Mariota, but he's able to complete the pass regardless. And that's going to be Phillips again. Veros again. No, that is Phillips. So quietly, well, really not so quietly, having a great game.
Yeah, Mariota's been doing this for a while. I mean, I just can't say enough great things about Mariota. He is my favorite player, but he's amazing.
So as Boone fanboys out over Mariota, Derrick Henry takes the ball up the middle and picks up, looks like maybe 4 or 5 yards.
I can't take the fan out of me. It's hard to separate the fans, man. It's hard to separate the fandom. It's in my heart.
Most of you guys can't see this, but Boone is actually in the booth wearing a Mariota jersey.
I would never betray my team like that.
Mariota,
never betray my Texans.
Mariota in the gun, actually a read option, and without running into his blocker. That's a huge gain there. As it stands, it's gonna bring up 3rd and short. We're gonna get a 3rd and 2. Did you like that play call?
I did like the play call. It would have been better had had he avoided that whole blocker. The big guy in the same color jersey as you.
He kind of ran right up his back there. But outside of that, I mean, it was a great play call. Good idea.
Yeah.
Titans are going to come to the line, 3rd and short, pistol formation with Henry as the deep back. Excuse me. They're going to send Matthews in motion left to right across your screen. Mariota takes the snap, hands to Henry. Big stop there. So that's a huge stop by the the Detroit Lions because that's going to force a field goal try. And as we've seen, points are hard to come by against this Tennessee Titans defense. What do you think? How do you feel about that possession defensively?
I think it was a solid possession. It helped keep that game at a manageable level. So I say that to say this. You're down by 17. Go for 2. You're looking to go for 2 every play. 8-8-8-24. You can give up one more touchdown if need be. It's a 3-possession game for you.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy there because really either way, it's still going to be a 3-possession game no matter what you do.
Right. So if need be, if the time comes down to it, you can give up one more touchdown because all you need is one stop in these next 3 drives. Just one stop. Because you're going to give up a touchdown. You're going to go for 2 for both of them. That puts you down by 1? They score a touchdown. They're up 8. You're still in striking distance. You can give up 1 touchdown. You have to go for 2. This is a 3-possession game. You're playing for 24 points now.
So as it stands, as you just saw, a huge boot there, and obviously wind aided, but big boot practically put it into the first row. Stafford's going to come out, shotgun formation, 3 receivers wide. Drops back to pass. He's got Ebron on the cross, and again, Daquan Jones right in the backfield. I mean, the guy has basically started in the backfield on each possession, or each play, excuse me.
Well, you got to remember, they mic'd up Coach Yost in game, and we heard him tell the defensive line to be really aggressive, have no fear, just go get after it, and that's what they've done.
So now you're going to see a 2nd and 17 here as the clock ticks down towards 40 seconds left in the half. Stafford drops back from the gun, puts it up, deep ball, dangerous throw, and there is another interception. Now the Titans are really in business, down to the 27-yard line, already in field goal range with the wind at his back. That could be the dagger right there.
Yeah, he tried it, and I think he's just too little of a receiver to really be throwing it up to like that. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I know you're down big, but that seems a bit risky because now, the Titans, as we expect, right there. So Slayton goes left side on a zone read or a counter, actually, excuse me. 2nd and 8 now, but clock's moving. I think you're going to see him take this all the way down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And take this 23-6 lead into the 4th. That's a huge interception there.
Yeah. Again, in the chat, bringing up some good points. You got to wonder where's Stafford's hard count. Where are his fake calls? There's a lot of things you could do with the line to throw them off, whether it be fake audibles, fake hot routes, hard counts. There's a whole lot you can do there to play with the defense, and it doesn't seem like he's doing much of that. He's just coming to the line, hike it, and he's pretty straightforward, and it's pretty obvious because these safeties are very smart. They study film. They know what you're looking at.
Yeah, they definitely, as you can see there, only 122 yards of total offense in 3 quarters. That's he's struggling to get the ball moving. Lions are going to come up in press coverage here, and it looks like another handoff right side to Derrick Henry, and another maybe 2 or 3 yards. But again, to your point, always falling forward.
Yeah, Henry is a big boy. He's consistent. He's been doing it time and time again. The dude, he's hard to tackle. I don't know many players in the league that really want to tackle him.
Yeah, I know I sure wouldn't. Mariota's going to be in the backfield by himself in the shotgun, hands off to Muhammad on the jet sweep, and a huge first down there. And that's really going to be that's like pouring salt in the wound at this point because obviously now you're inside the 10-yard line. Well, maybe just outside the 10, excuse me. But what a big play there. 17-point lead already. And now you're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry at around the 10-yard line to just power home.
Yeah, I didn't want to, go ahead and blow up all of Yost's plan early in the game, but if I'm playing him and when I did play him, it became painfully obvious his right guard was trash, and I attacked his right guard in every way I could, and that was the goal.
Yeah,
I think his right guard had like 70-something pass block.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting you say that because I think he's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken, and it was somebody that he drafted recently.
right,
And I
he's
did
gonna
actually see
be
that.
great. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna be great at some point running behind Yost. But right now he's not ready. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think I got 2 or 3 sacks and a forced fumble with one player on just focusing on that right guard.
So as the clock ticks under 6 minutes to go, 3rd and 13 after a botched read option, really blown up well by the defensive line of the Detroit Lions. But they just haven't been able to do that enough. And now it looks like Mariota is going to come out in the gun, 2 in the backfield with him. Don't be surprised to see a heavy dose here of Henry, and that's exactly what we see. But again, blown up. So selling out on the run. 4th and 16 now. I think you're going to see a field goal opportunity. That's still, assuming he makes this, it's 26-6. It's still a 3-possession game, Boone.
This is embarrassing. I don't understand what Yost is doing. he is playing absolutely scared. You have your foot on the throat and he won't kill it. He's letting up. And I mean, this is how you get ran down. This is how you give up games. I get, people say don't be so aggressive, but dude, you gotta end this thing. A touchdown ends it. It's done with a touchdown.
Yeah,
he ran it nonstop.
As it stands, the Lions are going to get good field position because they have a 10-mile-per-hour wind at their back. So that the Titans are kicking into that wind. And you still have a little over 5 minutes left. I know it's a 3-possession game, but a quick score. And how many times have we seen it where as you're trying to ice a game, say Derrick Henry gets the ball and fumbles it, or Mariota gets sacked and fumbles it or throws an interception. We've seen it a lot, and I kind of have to agree with you that I think you needed 6 on that just to ice this.
Look, man, you have to keep your foot on the throat, and you have to twist. You have to take the life out of their lungs. You don't just watch them die slowly.
So a big first down play there as Stafford goes over the middle. I didn't catch who it was. Now they're in the hurry up. Moat's in the backfield again with Stafford. And the Lions are already running the 2-minute offense. And obviously that's painfully obvious because of how quickly they need to move. And what a beautiful throw. That is a veteran throw by Matt Stafford, getting them down inside the 20-yard line. That's going to be 1st and 10. Lions they're going to give them the 14-yard line. So as we tick closer to 4 minutes, here's what we talked about. This could be a 2-possession game really in the next few sets of plays here.
Yeah, and that receiver is Nate Sims, number 12, coming up big. He made a whole lot of plays. He's not necessarily the biggest guy. He's only 5'9", 170, but a big player when it comes to heart. And that's hard to account for.
Yep, and you're going to pick up 7 on the first down run from Moats going right on the toss from Stafford. Not a crazy fan of that play call because really you just wasted about 30 seconds worth of clock. I think you have to keep the ball in the air because worst case scenario is an INT and the game's over. But, a drop at least stops the clock. As it stands, the Lions move down towards the goal line, another run up the middle. And it looks like they might get the first down or be just short. So it's going to be 3rd and a short one on the 4-yard line, clock ticking ever so close to that 3-minute mark.
Well, this is simple. This is a simple game plan. You're going for the touchdown here. You're going for the onside kick. You don't get it. You're giving up a touchdown by blitzing everybody.
And a huge play there. Absolutely. And a huge play there on a swing or a screen pass to the left-hand side. We've seen that work, I think that's the 3rd time that has worked against this Tennessee Titans defense. So an aggressive defense selling out on the run after those last 2 runs. Really a good play there. And now it's going to be 26-13. So again, 2-possession game now. And it looks like the Lions are, like you said, they have to come out an onside kick, don't you think?
I mean, you get the onside kicks, they're random. But I mean, you get 2 chances at an onside kick here because you're giving up the touchdown if you don't get it. There's no point in playing defense at this point. Give up the touchdown.
And it looks like the Lions are not going to. Yeah. So the Lions are going to trust their defense, and perhaps, I think you're going to see them obviously burn some timeouts. I don't know. So Hazel's going to take it out of the end zone. He's going to get it out to about the 29-yard line, maybe gets to 30. Nope, it is indeed the 29. So out comes Mariota. Going to try to burn some clock here. What do you expect to see?
I expect to see extremely conservative. Probably an outside run because he anticipates a lot of heat up the middle. Maybe a toss of some sort.
So here comes Mariota again, trying to just ice this game. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. The Detroit Lions, really a first down, pretty much ends this game. Well, maybe not a quick first down. Handoff left side. It's going to be a stretch play to Derrick Henry, and he's blown up. He's actually moving backwards. So the last few times that Henry's got the ball, he's actually moved backwards. At one point, he had 9 carries for 28 yards. He's now got 12 for 23. That's an interesting little stat.
Yeah, it's been tough for him this year, and that's supposed to be his bread and butter. But I mean, honestly, I'm throwing the ball. Screw it. I'm going for the kill.
Well, we all know you're throwing the ball.
I'm going for the kill.
And there is the kill. So he's going to have a perfectly thrown ball into coverage, into quadruple coverage, finds a hole, drops it in. Now the Lions only have 2 timeouts as we tick closer to the 2-minute warning. I'm surprised that the Lions aren't using a timeout on that, but it looks like they're going to try to let the Titans take this down closer to the 2-minute warning, and then obviously they're going to hope to get both timeouts called before that 2-minute warning.
They are wasting time, man.
Yeah.
Just blitz everybody and give up the touchdown and move forward with the offense.
So there's a huge first down run, and again, we may see the Lions actually just kind of concede this at this point. 2 minutes left, down 13. And in no urgency to use their timeouts. I'm a little bit surprised by that, but, I guess obviously you haven't been able to stop Derrick Henry.
I just don't get it. You just wasted a minute and a half.
Yeah,
pretty much a touchdown.
Pretty much a full minute just went by. So they do use their timeout, or one of their timeouts. It's now going to be 3rd and 2, minute and 55 left.
Put the pride aside.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, again, another heavy dose of Derrick Henry here. Titans come to the line.
Outside run, here we go.
In the shotgun, Muhammad in the backfield, so Henry is not even in the game here. Mariota makes a few adjustments, looks like he's calling out the mic. Throws over the middle to Muhammad, and he actually drops the ball. That's a gift. So now, 4th and 2.
Go for it.
A minute and 51, and the wind, I was just going to say, the wind is dead in your face. They're going to punt the ball away and trust their defense. I know you're not a huge fan of trusting the defense.
No, that's a waste of time.
And the punt's going to sail into the end zone just a bit too heavy. And it looks like so now the Lions are going to get the ball on the 20-yard line. So it's not out of reach yet. I know you got to get a quick score.
It's not what? It's not out of what?
It's not out of reach. Got a minute and 45, 26-13. They need obviously a quick score, though. They need to score in under a minute.
All his disciples.
They need Jesus. Moats in the backfield with Stafford in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to throw, hits his man on a crossing route. And I think you got to move real quick, and they do. They're going to come up to the line of scrimmage in the hurry up. Stafford's still in the gun. Moats lining up really, really, really. Stafford's going to drop back. Takes a look down the left or down the right-hand side, and there's your – oh, no, that is not Dixon Bishop. So Stafford connects, and suddenly, again, now all of a sudden the Lions are in business.
What business are you looking at?
Listen,
they have one timeout.
This could be an interesting finish here. The Lions need to punch this in. Stafford, empty backfield, in the gun, and he pulls the he does. He pulls Mike Daniels, the defensive tackle, offside, and that's a huge penalty because not only does he move up 5 yards, but he stops the clock. So that's a free timeout, stops the clock.
I want to see Stafford make a believe out of me today.
He comes out, same set, empty backfield, shotgun, throws it up, deep ball, just too deep out of the reach of his wide receiver on the right-hand side there. Didn't see the number.
I see what he was looking at. Wasn't quite there.
Yeah, and I don't know that I like the play call because you've been so successful over the middle of the field and on those short and intermediate routes, as you said earlier. Stafford drops back to pass, has a man open. No, maybe not. That's going to be Jamal Adams, and this is going to seal the game. Huge hit stick by Stafford. I don't even know what to say about that.
Man, look. Times are rough out here, clearly. But they need to be more aggressive. You have to be more aggressive for this game. You really just put yourself in a hole with one timeout and a minute left. You let a whole minute 30 run off the clock so you could let them run a couple plays.
Yeah, I think as we saw in this game, really, well, both teams, neither one I would say was aggressive, but actually when the Lions decided to get aggressive is when they made their mistakes. You have to, in my opinion at least, you have to take what the defense gives you against such a solid defense like this. The trick is that you can't force the ball into coverage. It's okay to be aggressive, but forcing the ball into coverage just doesn't work. We've seen that time and time again.
I think you got to trust your veteran quarterback. He's there for a reason. He is the one.
Yep.
Let him go make that play. That is your game, folks. That is 26-13, your final score. And, yeah, this game did turn into something. It looked like it was going to get really ugly until the Lions kind of made their last-ditch effort to make this a ball game. But like we talked about at the end of the game, who steps up? Jamal Adams. We talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. What's your thoughts on Jamal Adams, Boone? You're going to be facing this guy 2 times a year now.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and have to put a bounty on him because I really don't feel like dealing with him. So I'm going to just tell Foreman to run him over a couple times.
Did you recently hire Greg Williams as your defensive coordinator?
Well, we got some consulting from Greg Williams. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
not
it
an
sounds
official
like.
employee of Houston, but he has consulted for us.
Yeah, and Justin, it looked like Matt Stafford really didn't look like himself until that last drive. Is this something that he can bounce back at, or is this something that we're going to have to look at going forward with him?
Well, I think he actually did look like himself here and there in kind of spurts through the game. But what you saw was basically the Lions' inability to, A, stop the rush of the Tennessee Titans, and B, their inability to score and to capitalize on those red zone possessions. You saw 3 red zone possessions that turned into field goal opportunities in which they only successfully converted those twice. So you had a chance to score 21 points and you scored 6. I think that's kind of the story of this game, really. That changes this.
Yeah, that definitely changed the pace of this game, leaving too many points and not being able to convert those crucial third downs. And I think that, if Coach Nick looks at this in retrospect, he's going to probably say, well, I could have done this a little differently and I could have done this. And maybe, I'm sure he's going to be able to change his game plan going forward. And playing a great coach like Yost, he won the Super Bowl a season ago. You got to hang your hat on that. He did still make it a ball game. I really thought going into that middle of the third, it was going to get ugly. Unfortunately, it wasn't even more of a closer game, but, the Lions did put up an effort. You guys had talked about it, Boone. Do you think that had anything, the not calling the timeout with, 3 minutes left? Do you think that kind of hurt his chances as well?
I think he didn't have a game plan for being down. It seemed a little bit of unpreparedness. When you're down by a lot like that, you have to really evaluate how important it is for these 4 downs. Like I said, I thought he should have went for the onside kick. If you don't get it, you maybe take a chance at stopping him in 3. If you don't get that stop, you give up the touchdown, because at the end of the day, you need the ball back. You need to keep the ball moving to score points. It's hard to score points on defense when all he's going to do is run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And he proved that he can still run the ball. Yost is, even with Luan out, I saw him go out in the game. He was still able to manage to run on that Lions defense. Going forward, though, I want both thoughts here as we close out the broadcast. Justin, where does Nick go from here? He still has a lead in that division. He doesn't have a lot of competition. I do see the Bears still kind of making a move here, but I mean, is he going to have to reevaluate his game plan? I mean, Stafford did not look great out here today. What do you think he needs to do going forward?
I don't think he needs to do anything. I think nobody looks good against the Titans defense. They're giving up like 14 points a game. So I'm not worried about it. I think that the Titans have a phenomenal defense. And really the Lions obviously focus on their passing game and the fact that it really matches up matches up well for the Titans at least with those amazing that amazing secondary, Adoree Jackson, Trufant, Jamal Adams. I mean, the names, these are Pro Bowl players at every position in their secondary. So I don't think he needs to worry about anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe obviously commit to the run game a bit more.
Coach Boone, you are the offensive guru. You win the offensive MVP with Deshaun Watson the first year. You know a lot about that. Seeing the Lions sputter on offense, if you were Coach Nick, how do you move forward? Do you make any changes, or do you kind of do what Justin said? You kind of stick with the game plan, knowing that you played a great defense. You look at your wound, move on. How do you present this?
Well, basically, I have a couple points you could break down here. Your offensive line really didn't do you any favors. They really allowed Casey and Daquan Jones to kind of have their way. That's really not a good sign. They have a decent offensive line, so it's a little confusing as to how that happened. I think maybe it's just a bad game, so maybe you don't invest too much inside of that. Secondly, I don't know if Matthew Stafford is really going to be your future. He's a little too inconsistent. But even with that, you have a lot of young receivers. By the time they come around, is he really going to be the quarterback that you're going to use by the time they come around? Is he still going to be around in 2 to 3 seasons, or really in 1 to 2 seasons? Secondly, breaking news, I just got word out of Tennessee. Taylor Lewan has broken ribs and will be out for at least 1 to 2 more weeks. And Jurrell Casey has an abdominal tear and will be out for about 3 to 4 more weeks. So big news for Tennessee. They lose a huge force in Jurrell Casey. And really, that was where the game was lost with Jurrell Casey and Taylor Lewan. So we look how the Titans will rebound. But as far as the defensive side of the ball, you just have to be ready to make plays. It didn't seem like the defense was really there for them today and allowed the Titans to get away with a lot.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Losing both of those guys, losing Casey on the defensive side, you saw that the Lions did get a little bit more time on those last couple drives, and losing a guy like Lewan, I mean, you can't replace someone like that. So it'll be interesting going forward to see, what's next for Tennessee. So with that, we're going to close it down here. For Justin, thank you for being with us today, and Boone, thank you for being with us for XCFL. I'm your host, Brian. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.